The deep end.
So you've never been on a cruise before?
No, like not even once. But my friends would always go, but we never did because we never had enough money.
Yeah.
And you've been on how many?
I lost count at 50.
50?
That was because my mom worked
How
for
do
the
you
industry.
have...
And so we got to go for free.
Okay, that explains it.
Yeah,
Actually, I did lie, though. I did go on one cruise.
Oh.
And that was a couple weekends with you, actually.
That's right.
We went together. And I don't even know how that happened. Like, how did that all come together?
My mom had a coworker
Right.
who was in town. This happened so last minute. I was able to get us a ship tour on the world's biggest cruise ship, the Icon of the Seas.
Okay. How long is this thing? Do you even remember?
I think it was like 1,350 feet long.
Gosh.
It's 20 stories tall.
Yeah.
It has like 6 different neighborhoods. What was your first impressions of the ship? Was it as I built it up to be?
Honestly, because I'd never been on a cruise before then, like, I don't know what I was really expecting when you first get on, right? Because you hear, like, oh, the cruise has this thing. The cruise has a bunch of places you could sleep at. The cruise has, like, the spa, whatever. Like, I don't think I really visualized exactly, okay, what part of the ship are we going to be on when we first got on? And so we're first getting on, and then I'm looking around, and it's kind of like, it reminds me a lot of, like a mall.
Yeah.
It's like you can go down that way and you can go down that way, and on either side there's a bunch of shops, there's a bunch of restaurants, and then in the middle is this like weird, like gigantic pearl thing, right? It was white, it was big.
Yeah, and it moved.
Yeah.
It had panels
tiles
that moved
on the inside, and they were reflecting light, and it was purple and blue, and it was like a staircase that led to like, it was just basically a big dining area with couches, I think.
Yeah,
I don't
with
remember.
the beautiful windows.
Yes.
It was like 3 stories of windows.
From the ground all the way to the top.
Yeah.
And you could just lean on it because it angled like forward into the water. And it's like, wow, I could really just fall in. Like, it reminds you, this is a boat. And you could fall if you really want to.
Yeah. I mean, it's like 4 city blocks big.
Yep.
So what boat have I've never been on anything. My whole life, I've wanted to be on the world's biggest cruise ship, and I got my chance that day.
And I remember when we went to the, there's 2 different elevator stations. There's one on the front, and then there's one in the back. And each one has like a map of like what's on the boat. And then you look at it, and it's like, dude, this thing has 20 stories. And then they divide it up into each room. Okay, where is the spa? Where is the arcade? Where's the casino? Where's this and that and the other thing and all these dining halls? And you're looking through the list and you're like, wow, I don't know if I could even explore this entire boat before we're done.
I don't think we did.
It's insane. Oh, we definitely did not go into
maybe 80%.
I'd say 80%. But the 20% we didn't go to was like not super interesting.
Yeah, well, we didn't get to go in the comedy club. That was one thing I was kind of interested to see what it looked like.
Yeah.
But we did see the live music hall.
We did. There was no live music, but we saw the hall.
No, we saw the hall's 2-story club. I mean, I can imagine how fun that would be.
And the lighting was amazing too. Yes. What was your favorite part of that ship?
For me, it's the front of the ship where the Aqua Theater was, and we got to sit with that glass. Like, again, all that natural light coming in.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine at night or on the open ocean.
Oh, that would be great.
Yeah, amazing.
Oh my
Could
gosh.
you imagine? And it's air conditioned too, so you're not outside. You don't have to worry about the wind or the elements.
Yep.
It really was a really relaxing place. I tried to walk up to this like hanging couch area,
right?
Because it looked empty, and I run up there, and there's a couple just hanging out.
They're just chilling.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
I was like, oh, I'm so sorry.
Right. Oh my, that must have been awkward.
It was, but I'm an awkward person.
You fit right in. There you go. Yeah, I think it was so interesting because it was a theater, but there was like a circle thing in the middle, and there was water in it.
Yeah.
And I was like, so why do we have water on the boat? Like apart from the swimming pools. And then you said, oh, they do like shows here with the water, and they'll like have people dive into it and whatever, which means they gotta make the water deep enough for that to be possible. So what's under the thing? I don't know. And it's just a lot of engineering.
At least what, like 10, 15 feet?
Yeah.
Right?
If you don't want to get your head cut off when you jump into that thing, right?
Yeah.
I think my favorite part of the ship was I loved everything that was outdoors.
Yes.
Yeah,
I mean, they had a whole water park.
they did. And they had like a kids version of the water park, which is below, but it was still outdoors.
Yeah, a little
And then
splash
on
pad.
top, there was just so many slides. Like I think one of the things you said that was like it was the ship with the most slides.
The most slides
Yep.
on ever
Yeah.
on a cruise ship.
And dude, it was overwhelming. But also, I think for me, because I've never been on any cruise ship other than that, I couldn't appreciate how many slides there were because it's like, oh, normally there's like 2 slides, and I see 10, and I'm like, oh yeah, 10 slides, duh, right? Because I've only been to water parks where it's like an infinite amount, right?
It's like going to a water park.
Yeah, but on the boat.
Yeah.
In
Next to a mini golf course.
right, it's so
Next
much.
to like a wave surfing thing. I mean, it's all right there. The basketball court
And with
was
the net, they had the whole thing covered
Yeah.
in a net so that if you missed, the ball couldn't like go off the ship.
Yep.
It just bounces right back in because there's a net there.
Trial and error. I'm sure back in the first years of cruising,
They didn't have the net there.
they're like, "Oh no!"
And you just see all the ball just fall off with other people who can't make their shots.
Interesting fact. I remember as a kid,
Yeah.
they used to have a shooting range for golf off the back of the ship,
No
and people
way.
would hit balls into the ocean.
Why?
This was like the early 90s.
Okay, back when no one cared about anything.
No one cared.
What else?
So then we got to eat.
Yeah.
We actually got to eat on the ship, and not just like the handhelds, like they had like the Mexicans or the burger, the different types of cuisines.
Right.
We went to the buffet.
Yeah, we did.
What'd you think of the buffet? Normally, for me, I'm not a big fan of the buffets, but I think
You like this one?
Yeah, I think I did.
Yeah, I mean, gosh, it's been a while since I think I've eaten that level of quality food, knowing it was free.
Yeah.
Right? The only buffet I really go to is the campus kitchen here. And that's like, it's not horrible.
Yeah. When did they have lobster at the campus kitchen?
Literally never. You will never spot nothing like that. Right? And here I am, and there's just so many options. And honestly, it's a bit overwhelming because it's like, oh, I want to try everything, but I have to remember that my stomach is only so big. And we also saw like the designated dining hall, I remember.
Yes.
It was
It's like
massive.
4 stories.
Yep.
It was with a giant chandelier just right smack in the middle.
And everyone has their own assigned table.
yes.
So that when you go in, you're not like fighting for a space. You're
Yeah.
like, this is my table. I go there every time. No one's going to be there when I go there.
And you get the same waiter.
Yep.
And waiter staff as well. So you get really familiar with them, and they're so friendly. I mean, the employees on the ship, to me, for Royal Caribbean, there's a reason why there's a saying, "I'm loyal to Royal."
Okay.
It's because of the customer
the people?
service.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After a while, we hit the spa. We got that
We
amazing
did. We did a tour.
Yeah, and we got to see all the massage rooms. You could just open up, and it's just like you and the dude. And
They were trying to sell us acupuncture.
Yep.
They were trying to sell us
It was like IVs.
the IV.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
That was crazy. What else? We had the casino there. It was.
The
I think it was
casino was massive for a cruise ship for me.
right.
For someone that's been on over 50, normally the casinos maybe the size of like 1 room, maybe 2.
Yeah.
This
that was big.
Yeah.
Yeah. If the standard is 1 room, then that was big. Yeah, but I think it was closed when
Well,
we got.
because they can't operate until they're 7 miles offshore in international waters.
Got you.
Yeah.
So they need to make sure they're not in U.S. grounds.
Yeah.
before They start the junk up. I see it. I see it. There was also like an ice. It was an ice skating
yes.
place, but it wasn't for people to ice skate. It was like for performers.
But did you know that you can ice skate?
You can.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
They
So I was
have
wrong.
open ice skating
Yeah.
times. So every day there's a flyer that you wake up to in your room, and it'll have all the events that are going on that day.
Including you can go on the ice.
It'll
skating
tell you,
spot.
yeah. And then you also had the gym as well.
Hmm.
It was insane how big and how many machines,
Yeah.
treadmills. I mean, they had a whole spinning room.
What's that?
It's like bicycles where you try to like
Okay,
pedal really
yep.
fast.
I do remember this.
Yeah.
They had a lot.
They had so much.
They dedicated a lot of space to the gym stuff.
Yeah. Because, fitness is important for people.
Yeah.
But on vacation, as we're in there, we saw people working out.
Dude, yeah, right?
Yes.
Not even 5 hours into your trip and you're already getting gains.
Yeah.
Keeping up the body shape. Like, it's...
Yeah, you want to keep your routine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's vacation, but people still exercise on vacation.
Yep.
All right, so then what's your takeaways from the ship? Ultimately, like what when you left, what impression was left on you?
Yeah, I think. Wow, I think I went through like a bit of a roller coaster of feelings and emotions throughout the whole trip. I think because I'd never been on a cruise ship before, it was honestly extremely overwhelming to see so many activities tightly packed together. And there's just, it's almost like a explosion of dopamine, and you're walking on the ship and it's like, wow, these are all amazing things. But as I'm walking around, I'm like, it's like such easily available pleasure. Mm-hmm. And I'm like not used to that, right? Because I guess one reason is not growing up on cruises, but also that's just not necessarily like how life is. And so it's like, wow, this is so new and different. And it is overwhelming because I'm so used to like vacation. It's like you kind of have to work to have fun. Like we're going to go here and do this thing. And we got to bring this stuff and make sure we got this. Mm-hmm. And then here, we're going to go eat here. And then we're going to drive here. And then blah, 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 blah. Meanwhile, here, you can just, everything's available within walking distance and it's catered towards you and other people are running it for you. And so that's different. And honestly, because it was so overwhelming, especially when we saw the map and it's like, there is just, this ship is endless. Like, I'm never going to get to the end of the ship. There's just so much stuff to do. So it's like, wow, this doesn't really feel real. And I almost felt like it was like a hedonistic person's paradise, dude. That's kind of what it was, because so much of it was like, hey, this, you can go here to feel good this way, or you can go here to enjoy yourself this way, or you can eat this thing and enjoy that thing for yourself, and you can go here and you can go do this thing, and it's like, how can I have my best experience? And that's kind of the mindset you have when you step on that boat, because there are just so many options. And I'm not used to thinking that way. I think most of my, forget vacations, most of the things I have fun, most of the ways I have fun is like, I just want to do stuff with people. Like, let's just get together and like do something. Mm-hmm. And it's like very relationship oriented. Meanwhile, this is like, hey, this is the one time you just get to do what you want to do and go after it. And I'm like, that feels a little weird. You know what I'm saying?
It's understandable.
Yeah.
It really is. It's really overwhelming.
It is.
And that's why I feel like a week on that ship gives you an opportunity to kind of dabble in everything.
Yep.
They do other ships that are similar in that size. They do 3 and 4 night cruises.
Yeah.
And people say they feel like they left things undone.
I feel like we never once really dived deep into anything we were visiting. We just had to look at it and then go. Yeah. Look at it and then go. And I will say towards the end of the trip, once my brain could like map out areas of the ship, because the more I understood the place spatially and the more places we discovered, it's like, okay, now I'm grounded in what the ship actually has, and it's not actually infinite. It's big, but it's not like infinite. So I know what's here and I've seen it, and it's like, okay, all right, now it's a little less overwhelming because I've seen it now. And now from there I can like, okay, I'm feeling this. And I think if I did go on an extended trip with people I actually care about, obviously that's a whole lot of fun. Mm-hmm. It's just like everything together at once, and it's like, wow, this is different. And it was funny because I remember leaving the ship, I was thinking like, I'm not even sad to leave, because I think part of it's just like, I'm so blessed that my life away from vacation is just so enjoyable. Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of that has to do with like my faith and the gifts I've been given by God, and like just the people that He's placed around me. So I'm like, man, I have fun no matter what I'm doing. And here I'm going on this cruise, and it's like, oh, this is like a different definition of fun. I can appreciate because it's a vacation for a short amount of time, but it's definitely different. I don't know. You've been on 50 of them, and now you've been on the biggest one. So what did you think?
Yeah, I definitely want to go on that ship.
Yeah.
And make, not just on that ship or a similar ship. I mean, the size of that ship felt very comfortable. I went on ships that were maybe a quarter of that size.
Can you even call that a cruise?
Yes.
Okay. Just not a
Those
yacht?
used to be the world's largest cruise ships at one time.
Back when you were 8?
Yeah, 5, it was a lot
6?
smaller.
Yeah.
I thought it was very well designed, like you said.
Yeah.
I think engineered to a T.
Yep.
I didn't feel as if the ship was crowded except for one time, and that was when we were in the buffet, which was
Oh, a lot of
generally the only place open to eat other than the quick service places where
Yeah.
you can grab like a sandwich or a taco or something or an ice cream.
Yeah.
But the buffet was packed, but that was, I feel like, the only part of the ship that it felt like that. Because when we went to the pool or we went to any of the promenades or the neighborhoods, we walked through Central Park.
That was cool.
Yeah, with all the vegetation, and there was like nobody there. It just felt like,
But I think it was earlier in the day.
It was.
That contributed towards it a little
yeah,
bit.
people are still getting on the ship and everything, but they designed, and this is something I knew going into this, is they designed it to kind of spread everybody out. Yeah,
that's
so that
smart.
it's not all, like everybody's not all trying to go to this one show.
Yeah.
That you have so many options. And I think they did exactly that with
Dude, it's
how
good.
you're feeling.
Yeah.
And to me, I don't get as much of an enjoyment going to Disney, where I get like a quick dopamine of riding a ride, but I had to wait in an hour-long line, versus a cruise ship where I could go to a comedy show, I can go to a theater show, I can go to an ice rink show, the water show.
Yep.
I mean, and that's just for entertainment. I mean, there's plenty of activities, sporting events going on. I mean, so many things to do that, yes, I would be absolutely down to pay full price.
Hey, whenever you get that 5K, let me know so you can log on for a
we'll
week,
go.
right? All right, guys. That just about wraps it up. See you guys in the next one.
Take care.